Start for the today's session for high performance computing subject. Good afternoon to all. Our
Good
first unit,
afternoon, sir.
our first unit that is the parallel processing concept. We have already completed most of the concept of the parallel processing concept from the unit number 1. In today's session, we are going to see VLIW architecture, very long instruction word architecture, okay, which is based on the parallel computing. And second part, that is the types of parallelism. We have seen implicit parallelism. So in that, in syllabus or in the content, these topics are not mentioned, but which are related to our first unit, first unit, that is parallel computing. So in today's session, we will see the two content. First one is the types of parallelism, and second one is the VLIW architecture. My existing presentation, I have added some more content or some new slides. So first, I I introduce you about the types of the parallelism. Okay, our today first topic. And as we know the what do you mean by the parallelism? Parallelism means multiple more than one task can be executed simultaneously with the help of the multiple processor. It's called as a parallelism. So there are four type of parallelism. First one is the instruction level parallelism. It has a short form ILP. ILP, instruction level parallelism. You can note down the point at the end of the session. I will ask question on the topic types of parallelism and VLIW. Second one is the thread or task level parallelism. Thread or task, both are same. TLP, thread level parallelism or task level parallelism. Third one is the data level parallelism. Fourth one is the bit level parallelism. Okay, so first two are very important for the parallel computing because data level parallelism we already know little bit about that. Bit level parallelism is also important, but for the execution of the parallel computing we need of ILP and TLP basically. Sometimes we use the PLP also. I will tell you in detail about the PLP. There is a spelling mistake in parallelism, so please ignore. The first one is the instruction level parallelism. Instruction level parallelism means simultaneous execution of the multiple instructions from a program, similar as the parallel computing. Computing is basic. Parallel computing is based on the ILP, instruction level parallelism. In that same as the parallel computing, simultaneously execution of the multiple tasks, multiple instructions. But here you can see it is an instruction level parallelism. So basically ILP operates on or ILP works for instruction only. So in the particular parallel computing architecture, parallel computing processor, we can execute the multiple instructions simultaneously by using the ILP parallelism. We have already studied pipelining. Okay, so in pipelining, ILP play a very important role to perform the multiple execution of the instruction in the pipeline. So while pipelining is in the form of ILP. Okay, while pipelining is form of ILP, we must exploit it to the achieve the parallel execution of the instruction in the instruction stream. Basically, ILP is used to perform the pipelining operation of parallel execution of the instruction in the pipeline by using the instruction stream. We have already seen the example of for loop in previous session for control structure in parallel computing. So same here you can see one for loop is given, one for loop is given I less than 100, means there can be 100 tasks can be executed in this example, but at a time multiple tasks can be executed in the instruction level parallelism, which is based on the processor. Processor can be dual processor, quad-core processor, octa-core processor, whatever. So we consider dual core processor. In dual core processor, instruction first two instruction can be executed simultaneously. But in that you can see each instruction executed different tasks. At same time, each instruction can execute different tasks in their operation. Here you can read this is a parallel loop. This is the parallel loop. Every iteration of the loop can overlap with any other iteration. Although within each loop iteration there is a little opportunity to overlap. Means similar as a pipelining. In instruction level parallelism, instruction or multiple instruction can be executed. So in this example we can see x of I, y of I, means in that there can overlap can be occurred in the instruction level parallelism. Why? Due to the dependency between the instruction. If you need y of I, then value of y of I is depend on y of I plus x of I. So there is the dependency between the instructions. So multiple instructions can be executed using the instruction level parallelism, but there can be overlapping between the instructions. Why? Just because of the dependency between them. So I again repeat, instruction level parallelism, it means simultaneous execution of the multiple instructions from the program. You can note down the point. Instruction level parallelism means simultaneous execution of multiple instructions from the program, and it is basically used for the pipeline. Next one, thread level or task level parallelism. In operating system, you may have studied about the multitasking, multi-threading, multi-programming. So same to perform that particular multitasking or multi-threading concept, we need of thread level parallelism in parallel computing. जे आपण याच्यात बघितलं आहे ना, ओएस मध्ये टास्क अँड थ्रेड, मल्टी प्रोग्रामिंग, मल्टीटास्किंग, सेम ते टास्क, बट दॅट बेसिकली यूज फॉर द सिंगल प्रोसेसर और सिक्वेन्शियल कॉम्प्युटर. ते जे आपण ओएस मध्ये बघितलं ते सिक्वेन्शियल कॉम्प्युटरसाठी, पण आपण हे जे बघतोय थ्रेड लेवल पॅरललिझम, इट इज बेसिकली यूज फॉर द पॅरलल कॉम्प्युटिंग. हे फक्त पॅरलल कॉम्प्युटिंग साठी यूज होतो. वेन यू वॉन्ट टू एक्झिक्यूट द लार्ज ऍप्लिकेशन, देन ओनली वी यूज द parallelism concept. Otherwise, we use simple sequential computing, means our single computer. So come to the main point. Task parallelism means concurrent execution of the different tasks on multiple computing core. You can note down the point. This is very important keyword. Concurrent execution and different tasks. Task parallelism means concurrent execution. Concurrent means sequential operations occur one after another. We have already studied in the first or second session concurrent execution and parallel execution. So in that multiple tasks can be executed, but one after the another with the help of single processor. So task parallelism means concurrent execution of the different tasks on the multiple computing core. Okay. Now in single computing, we execute the concurrent we execute the instruction in concurrent manner, but there is a limitation. Same tasks can be executed using concurrent method, but in thread level or task level parallelism, you can execute the concurrent. You can perform the concurrent execution with different tasks on multiple computing cores. There can be in parallel computing, there can be multiple processor, dual core, quad core, whatever. So each core each core can execute the different tasks. Means there is no any limitation. All the tasks should be of same time. As we implement the programming by using the array. But what is the limitations of array? In array, there should be homogeneous type of data. Means कसा डेटा पाहिजे तिथे सिमिलर डेटा पाहिजे. इंटिजर असेल तर सगळे इंटिजर, नंबर असेल तर सॉरी नंबर असेल तर सगळे नंबर, कॅरेक्टर असेल तर फक्त कॅरेक्टर. So this is the difference in thread level and task thread level or task level parallelism. In that, concurrent execution possible with different tasks, not same tasks. Okay, I give you one example for TLP. Task parallelism might involve two threads, each performing a unique statistical operation on array of elements. Again, the threads are operating in parallel on separate computing cores, but each is performing unique operation. फॉर एक्झाम्पल आता जो प्रिव्हियस एक्झाम्पल हा एक्झाम्पल आहे ना, हा कन्सिडर करूया आपण. ओके, इन दॅट यू कॅन सी देर आर 0 to 99 operation or I is initialized to 1 means 1 to 100 operation means 100 operation are there, and by using the ILP, so same code can be executed by using the thread level parallelism. So if suppose we are using the dual core processor for the parallel computing, at that time first task can be assigned to the first processor, second task can be assigned to the second core, we say the multiple core. So we assign first instruction to the first core, second instruction to the second core, but there is no any mandatory to execute the means to execute the same task by the multiple core. So core 1 can execute first instruction, okay, and second core can execute the second instruction. There means there is no any dependency between them, and each processor perform the unique operation. लक्षात येत असेल तुमच्या प्रत्येक याच्यामध्ये कॉन्करंट ऑपरेशन होतात, प्रत्येक कोरला एक एक टास्क दिला जातोय, बट देयर इज नो dependency between the multiple tasks, and each task execute its own unique operation. So this is the basic things about the thread level and task level parallelism. It is basically used to provide the multitasking and multi-threading. Third one, data level parallelism. Data parallelism means concurrent execution of the same task on each multiple computing core. Now you can note down the point. Here, in thread level, concurrent execution of the different tasks. इथे काय आहे, सेम concurrent execution होतं, म्हणजे multiple execution possible आहे, पण different tasks. Why? Because it is a thread, or it can be thread, or it can be task. But when you want to execute, when system processor want to execute the data, at that time tasks should be same. So that's why data parallelism means concurrent execution of the same task on each multiple computing core. Okay, now I give you one example for data parallel computing. If suppose you want to perform the summation of the n number of elements. Okay, so as we have already implemented code for summation of n number of elements in second year. So we declare the array a of 10. Okay, then we accept input from the user 1 to 10 numbers. Then we perform the addition between the 10 numbers by using the for loop. Sum is equal to sum of I plus a of I, whatever. So in this manner we perform the addition of n number of elements. But if suppose you want to execute such a program by using the parallel computer, at that time processor divide the problem into two parts. first half assigned to the first processor, second half assigned to the second processor. Again consider the dual processor. पुन्हा काय consider करा, previous example सारखं dual processor. So dual processor split the tasks or split the data into two parts. If suppose there are 1 to 10 numbers, 1 to 10 numbers are divided into two parts, 0 to n minus 1 and n minus 1 to n. Okay, so it is divided into first list assigned to the first processor, second list assigned to the second core. But in that you can see data should be same. Means if you are performing addition, means all the 10 elements should be number. तुम्हाला जर ऍडिशन करायची असेल तर सगळे नंबर सगळे एलिमेंट काय पाहिजे, नंबर मध्ये. सो दॅट्स वाय हियर यू कॅन रीड concurrent execution on the same task. So in this manner data level parallelism actually operates on the data or information which provide to the program execution. So in that it simply divide the program or divide the data into the two parts and assign one task to the first core, assign the second task to the second core, but it perform the same task. Means ऍडिशन ऑफ नंबर. असं होणार नाही की दोन पार्ट मध्ये डिवाइड केलं, एक पार्ट मध्ये नंबरची ऍडिशन होते, एका पार्ट मध्ये डिजिटची ऍडिशन होते, सॉरी कॅरेक्टरची ऍडिशन होते. असं होणार नाही. हे दिस ऑपरेशन इज नॉट डन बाय द डेटा लेवल parallelism, but such operation you can perform by using the thread level parallelism. I will give you last time we have discussed about the superscalar execution. In superscalar execution, it can execute the multiple instructions simultaneously. So you may know that diagram. There are two parts, integer and floating part. So one pipelining can execute the integer part, one pipelining can execute the float part. So to perform the such operation you need a TLP. But if you want to perform the same operation by the processor, then we need a data level parallelism. Point note down करून ठेवा. Data level parallelism means concurrent execution of the same task. आणि त्याचं एक्झाम्पल पण लक्षात ठेवा. मी एक्झाम्पल विचारणार आहे तुम्हाला, पुन्हा सांगतो तुम्हाला सिंपल आहे. एक्झाम्पल काय आहे, summation of a number of elements by using the dual core processor. So parallel processor split the n number of elements into the two parts, but it contains the same type of element, that is a number. Then first list assigned to the first core, second list assigned to the second core. Both are executing independently, but it performs the same task or same operation. Means both the core can perform the same operation. Last one, bit level parallelism. Bit level. Now bit. You may have heard this word bit in second year diploma, in second year subject, that is a DEL. Digital electronics मध्ये तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल पहिल्यांदा bit, byte. Okay, so same bit level parallelism. In bit level parallelism is a form of parallel computing based on increasing processor word size. Note down the point. Bit level parallelism काय आहे, increasing processor word size depending on the very large scale integration. हे पण तुम्ही बघितलं असेल, very large scale integration technology. Bit level parallelism is the form of parallel computing based on increasing processor word size depending on VLSI technology. Enhancement in computer design were done by increasing bit level parallelism. Okay, I explain you in detail about the bit level parallelism. First of all, anyone can tell me VLSI technology. कोणीतरी मला सांगा, VLSI टेक्नॉलॉजी कोणत्या कॉम्प्युटर मध्ये किंवा कोणत्या जनरेशन मध्ये येते?
सेकंड जनरेशन.
ओके, अजून कोणी? VLSI टेक्नॉलॉजी, कारण की त्यांनी काय सांगितलं, बीट लेवल पॅरलेलिझम हे कशावर ऑपरेट होतं, इट इज ऑपरेटेड ऑनली ऑन दी, इट इज सपोर्टेड बाय दी व्हेरी लार्ज स्केल इंटिग्रेशन टेक्नॉलॉजी ऑनली. आणि ही टेक्नॉलॉजी कुठेतरी वापरली आहे. कोणत्या जनरेशन मध्ये आहे? तुम्ही सीओ शिकले असाल सेकंड इयर मध्ये. आत्ताच मी 12th स्टुडंटसाठी फंडामेंटल ऑफ कॉम्प्युटर म्हणून वेबिनार घेतला, त्याच्यात मी सांगितलं आहे.
फोर्थ जनरेशन.
कोणता? फोर्थ जनरेशन.
येस.
ठीक आहे, फोर्थ जनरेशन. सेकंड जनरेशन रॉंग आन्सर आहे. फर्स्ट जनरेशन मध्ये व्हॅक्यूम ट्यूब आहे. सेकंड जनरेशन मध्ये ट्रान्झिस्टर आहे. थर्ड जनरेशन मध्ये आयसी आहे, इंटिग्रेटेड सर्किट. फोर्थ जनरेशन मध्ये VLSI आणि ULSI, अल्ट्रा लार्ज स्केल इंटिग्रेशन, VLSI. फिफ्थ जनरेशन मध्ये सांगता येईल तुम्हाला काय आहे?
अल्ट्रा लार्ज स्केल आयसीज टेक्नॉलॉजी.
फिफ्थ मध्ये अजून काही? आता जे सुरू आहे ना, आपण जे हे करतोय, गुगल मीट करतोय किंवा आजकाल जे काही सुरू आहे जगामध्ये, ते फिफ्थ जनरेशन वर सुरू आहे. फिफ्थ जनरेशन मध्ये काय येईल? AI, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स.
पॅरलल प्रोसेसिंग.
हा, पॅरलल प्रोसेसिंग हे बरोबर आहे. त्याच्यासाठी टेक्नॉलॉजी कोणती? AI. जसं VLSI आहे ना, हो तशी AI टेक्नॉलॉजी जी की फिफ्थ जनरेशन साठी यूज होते, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स. Okay, so come to the main point. VLSI means fourth generation computer. Means this parallelism is supported by the fourth generation computer only. Why? Due to the bit size. हे कशामुळे VLSI मध्येच का? कारण की बीट साईजवर डिपेंड असतं. 8-bit processor. In microprocessor you have studied 8-bit processor, 16-bit processor, 32-bit processor, now 60-bit 4-bit processor. Means if you want to perform the bit level parallelism, means you need to increase the processor word size. Processor word size म्हणजे काय? 8 बीट. कोणता प्रोसेसर आहे 8 बीटचा? प्लीज रिप्लाय. विच इज अ 8-bit processor in microprocessor? कोणाला सांगता येईल का 8 बीटचा कोणता प्रोसेसर आहे? रॉंग तर रॉंग सांगा काहीतरी. HPC सब्जेक्ट मध्ये ना मागचं नॉलेज मेन आहे. हे थेरी वाचून तर मी असंही शिकवून देईल. स्टुडंट्स प्लीज रिप्लाय. प्रोसेसरचे नावं सांगा. 8 बीट कोणता आहे, 16 बीट कोणता आहे? कॅन यू हिअर मी? आवाज येतोय? ऋतुजा बलक. ऋतुजा.
हॅलो सर. इंटेल.
हा, इंटेल नाही, इंटेल कंपनीचं नाव आहे.
8085.
8085. Very good. 8085 is the 8-bit processor.
8-bit.
Very good, Kalyani. Now 16-bit processor.
सर 805.
8085 हा बरोबर आहे. नाही, पेंटियम नाही. पेंटियम नंतर आलाय प्रोनाली. आता 16-bit प्रोसेसर सांगा. शिवाली सांगता येईल?
8086.
Okay, Kalyan, very good. 8086, nice. 8085 is the 8-bit processor, 8086 is the 16-bit processor, then 486 is the 32-bit processor, and Pentium is a 32-bit processor. Trunali तुझ्यासाठी Pentium 32-bit processor, आणि त्याच्यानंतर जे काय आले i7, i5, i3, okay, it can be a 64-bit processor. So according to the bit size, we can increase the processor word size. For example, in 8-bit processor, we can execute one instruction at a time. But in one instruction, 8 bit means 1 byte. 8 bit म्हणजे काय 1 byte. याचा अर्थ आपण 8-bit प्रोसेसरने 8 byte instruction, we can execute 1 byte instruction. But if you want to execute the 2 byte instruction, then you want to increase the processor word size. You have to use 16-bit processor, because 16-bit means 2 byte. You can execute 2 byte instruction. If suppose you want to execute 32-bit instruction,
80386.
yeah, 80386 we can use. Okay, so bit level parallelism means that if you have to increase the processor word size, which is depend on the very large scale integration, and very large scale integration means Pentium प्रोसेसर सिरीज. कमीत कमी तिथून जे प्रोसेसर आले ना पेंटियमचे 486 पासून पुढे, ते त्याला आपण सांगू शकतो इट इज अ VLSI टेक्नॉलॉजी मिनिमम. सो इट इनहाउस द कॉम्प्युटर. लक्षात आलं का बीट लेवल काय आहे? बीट लेवल विच इज यूज टू इन्क्रीज द बीट साइज ऑफ द पर्टिक्युलर प्रोसेसर टू एक्झिक्यूट द लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, यू कॅन सी, फॉर एक्झाम्पल, where 8-bit processor must add to 16-bit integer. तुम्ही मायक्रो प्रोसेसर मध्ये बघितलं असेल, सीओ मध्ये पण झालेला हा पार्ट. सीओ मध्ये एक युनिट होता 8086. In 8086 it is a 16-bit processor. Okay, but I have considered example for 8-bit processor. 8-bitच्या प्रोसेसर मध्ये कधी तुम्हाला 16-bitची ऍडिशन करायची असेल 2 नंबरची, तर कसं करता येईल? प्रोसेसरचं 8-bit है ना, but it is possible. How? In processor memory divided into 2 parts, lower part and higher part. तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल बघा, AL BL register. AL means lower register, lower memory register. BL H and BH, sorry, AH and BH. L means lower, H means higher. So lower byte and higher byte. Memory is divided into 2 parts, lower byte and higher byte. So in 8-bit memory, 8-bit lower part, 8-bit higher part. So we can execute the 16-bit instruction by using the lower bit and higher bit. So first 8-bit execute by the lower byte memory, and rest of the 8-bit execute by the higher byte of memory. So by using such a techniques, we can execute the 16-bit integer by using the 8-bit processor. If suppose you want to execute the 32-bit integer, then you have to use 16-bit processor. तुम्हाला 8-bitच्या प्रोसेसरवर 16-bitची इन्स्ट्रक्शन एक्झिक्यूट करता येते. आता मी तुम्हाला पूर्ण डिटेल नाही दाखवू शकत, but we have one diagram. Yeah. Yes, here you can see. This is the architecture of 8086. Yes. And here you can see register. So, this is the 8086 means 16-bit processor. So, it is whole is a 16-bit. हा पूर्ण AX का है 16-bit का है. But it is divided into 2 parts. AH higher byte, L lower byte. So, we can execute. So, by using this, we can execute the higher byte and lower byte data by using the different 16-bit segment address. आता हा किती झाला 16 बीट, पण तुम्हाला 32 बीटची इन्स्ट्रक्शन एक्झिक्यूट करायची असेल, तिथले लोअर बाईट वापरायचे, आणि हा पूर्ण एक सेगमेंट कितीचा आहे 16 बीट. सो 16 प्लस 16 32 बीट, असं 8 बीट मध्ये 8 आणि वरचे 8 किती झाले 16. मीन्स ऍट द टाइम by using the 8-bit processor, you can execute 16-bit instruction, and by using the 16-bit processor, you can execute maximum 32-bit instruction. Apart लक्षात ठेवा, तसं जास्त यूज नाही त्याचा, because it is a hardware part, it's not a software part. You have to increase your hardware technology, then only you can perform the bit level parallelism. You cannot add software for bit level parallelism. Okay, we have seen the types of parallelism. There are 4 types. First one is the instruction level parallelism. Second one is the task or thread level parallelism. Okay, then data parallelism, and fourth one is the bit level parallelism. Okay, motivating parallelism we have already studied. Okay, in that pipelining, we have already seen how pipelining works. Superscalar execution. The last session I have explained superscalar execution, which is used to execute the more than one instruction at a time. More than one instruction at a time. So here you can see register, integer register file, floating register file. 2 different tasks can be executed by using superscalar execution. Same task execute करायचा असेल तर normal pipelining. But if you want to execute different tasks execute करायचे असेल, different means integer, float, char, then you need to work with superscalar execution. Okay. Now next one, that is the VLIW processor. In VLIW processor, it is one of the parallel computing processors. That is the VLIW, very long instruction word processor. Very long instruction word processor. As the name suggests that very long. त्याच्या नावामध्ये दिलं very long instruction means this processor is used to execute the long instruction. Right now, in the modern computer science, we can execute 64-bit longest instruction word at a time. आत्ताचे जे प्रोसेस आहे ते मॅक्सिमम किती 64 बीट आहे. तर आपण 64 bit instruction word we can execute by using the parallel processor. So you can note down the point, and before reading the theory or explaining the topic, I would like to tell you VLIW processor in VLIW processor concept in simple word. VLIW is a processor which is basically used to execute a large application or application which need to execute the long instruction word. Okay, and basically in the VLIW processor, it operate with the help of the compiler or preprocessor. Because we say processor means it can be hardware part. Basically we see the processor, but processor can be hardware part, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit. It's the hardware part, not a software part. But in that VLIW processor, hardware plus software both are combined together to perform the parallel computing. Because in VLIW, software is mounted as a compiler or preprocessor. In that, before performing operation by processor, first compiler or preprocessor takes a instruction or takes a program, and then it split down the program into the multiple part, and then multiple part or multiple instruction are assigned to the different core. In that VLIW, we basically use ILP. VLIW मध्ये आपण काय वापरतो? ILP, instruction level parallelism. का? कारण की याच्यामध्ये हार्डवेअर सोबत VLIW हा प्रोसेसर आहे, म्हणजे हार्डवेअर आहे, पण याच्यामध्ये हार्डवेअर काय होतं? We might take a more time to execute the particular operation, because when we give the command to through the keyboard or mouse, we request to the processor, means command goes to the processor. Processor means hardware part, and it take a more time to to reach the instruction from the input device to the processor. But in VLIW, no need to directly interact with the hardware part. When you will give the instruction will goes to the OS. OS will pass the program or instruction to the compiler or preprocessor. Compiler or preprocessor will interpret or analyze your instruction or program, and it is divided into number of tasks, means number of instructions, and that instructions that multiple instructions are assigned to the multiple core, means this execution, this splitting part or analyzing part are they done by the instruction. And how it enhance the performance of the VLIW processor. You may know memory memory management is plays a very important role to enhance the operation of the processor. So you know the cache memory. If suppose you have already visited that, if you have already visited the link or you have already opened that particular application in your computer system, then the link of that particular application is stored in the cache memory. So no need to every time interact with the processor. Before interacting with processor, you can directly means VLIW interact with the compiler. It check whether already application is already visited or not. If it already visited, then it just open the link from the compiler. But if suppose first time you are trying to executing the particular application, then compiler bookmark the particular application in their cookie or cache memory, and then it pass the instruction to the processor in the multiple chunk, म्हणजे लहान लहान पार्ट मध्ये तो पुढे डेटा पाठवतो, and then it execute the particular operation. So because of that advanced compiler preprocessor is the advanced part. This software is used to handle the VLIW processor, and due to the software, due to the software, it enhances the processing of the particular processor. Plus, we no need of extra hardware to perform the task which is done by the compiler. जे काम कंपायलर आणि इंटरप्रेटर करतो ते करण्यासाठी सेपरेट हार्डवेअर घ्यायची गरज नाही. ते काम कोण करतंय? Software. So this is the advantage of the VLIW processor. And VLIW processor, compiler is responsible to handle the large application. It analyzes the particular instruction, it checks the bit size of the particular instruction or program. As per the bit size, it splits the particular tasks into the multiple parts, and it divides the multiple tasks or multiple instruction to the multiple core for parallel Students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
किती वेळ झाला मला मीटिंग लेफ्ट करून? हॅलो.
8 minutes.
हा 8.
एक हो.
हा का? माझ्या लक्षातच नाही, मी बोलतो मी नंतर कळालं मला. ठीक आहे, कुठपर्यंत होतो मी सांगा, म्हणजे मी तिथून पुढे कंटिन्यू करतो, कारण की मी खूप एक्सप्लेन केला 8 मिनिटात.
VLIW.
तुला हा पार्ट एक्सप्लेन केला का मी VLIW ची डेफिनेशन?
Yes, sir.
हॅलो. या स्लाइडला आलो होतो, ही स्लाइड दिसली का तुम्हाला? हॅलो. कुणीतरी बोला, ही स्लाइड.
सर मागच्या स्लाइडची ना फर्स्ट डेफिनेशन
हा
झाली होती.
ओके, चालेल. ओके, मी कंटिन्यू करतो इथून पुढे, मी दुसरा स्लाइड लावतो. ओके, सो VLIW बेसिक चेक करा तुम्ही, पुन्हा ज्यांना आवाज येत नाही त्यांनी मीटिंग लेफ्ट करून पुन्हा रिजॉईन व्हा. ओके, VLIW describe the computer processing architecture which the language compiler of the processor break program instruction down into basic operation that can be performed by the processor in parallel. जसं मी आता सांगितलं, VLIW काय आहे? एक प्रोसेसर आहे, और वी कॅन सी द कॉम्प्युटर आर्किटेक्चर इन विच देर आर 2 लँग्वेज प्रोसेसर. वन इज अ कंपायलर प्री प्रोसेसर, आणि कंपायलर प्री प्रोसेसर काय करतो, जो काही प्रोग्राम आलेला आहे ऍप्लिकेशन, त्याला डिवाइड करतो मल्टिपल पार्टमध्ये, अँड दॅट मल्टिपल पार्ट मीन्स इट कॅन बी अ instruction, and that multiple instruction can be performed by the processor in parallel manner. आणि मी तुम्हाला हे सांगितलं होतं, कंपायलर मेन पार्ट इथे सॉफ्टवेअर यूज केल्यामुळे याची कॉस्ट कमी असते आणि हा फास्ट जास्त होतो. ओके, विच ऑपरेशन आर पुट इन टू व्हेरी लॉंग इन्स्ट्रक्शन वर्ड विच प्रोसेसर. मी आता रिपीट नाही करत, मी डायरेक्ट सांगतो. हां, in that VLIW, which is basically used to execute the very long instruction word. Okay, so processor can take an application divided into number of parts, and it is analyzed by the compiler. So when it pass the program or instruction to the processor, then no need to analyze the code again. कारण की एकदा तुमचा प्रोग्राम कंपायलर आणि प्री प्रोसेसरने अनालाइज केला, त्याच्यानंतर पुढे पाठवला, तर तो पुन्हा अनालाइज करायची गरज नाही. इट पास द डेटा टू द फंक्शनल युनिट. फंक्शनल युनिट याच्यामध्ये मल्टिपल फंक्शनल युनिट असतात. कशात? VLIW मध्ये, विच इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू एक्झिक्यूट द मल्टिपल ऑपरेशन सायमल्टेनियसली. नेक्स्ट वन, VLIW. ओके, तुम्ही तोपर्यंत रीड पण करत राहा, मी सांगतो. यू मे हर्ड वर्ड रिस्क ऐकलं असेल तुम्ही. हा वर्ड कधी ऐकलाय का? रिस्क. स्टुडंट्स
Yes, sir.
ऐकलंय ना? रिड्यूस इन्स्ट्रक्शन सेट ऑफ कॉम्प्युटर, आणि एक 6 असतो, CISK, कॉम्प्लेक्स इन्स्ट्रक्शन सेट ऑफ कॉम्प्युटर. हे these are the one of the example of parallel computing, RISC and 6. But VLIW is the next version of the RISC. So here you can read VLIW is sometimes viewed as the next step beyond the RISC architecture, which also works with limited set of relatively basic instruction and can usually execute more than one instruction at a time. Okay, VLIW मध्ये अजून कोणती कन्सेप्ट यूज होते? सुपर स्केलर. हे बघा इथे पाहू शकता तुम्ही. नोट डाऊन द पॉइंट. Which concept is used in VLIW? Superscalar. आणि VLIW is the next version of the RISC architecture. हे की पॉइंट लक्षात ठेवा. VLIW is the next version of RISC, and it uses the characteristics of superscalar. What is the characteristics of superscalar? Multiple tasks can be, more than one task can be executed simultaneously. मग तेच काम याचं आहे ना VLIW. So this is the basic concept of the VLIW processor. Now I show you the diagram. तुमच्या बुक मध्ये VLIW चा डायग्राम दिलेला नसेल कदाचित HPCच्या, हा मी नेटवरून घेतला आहे. Okay, so in that you can see VLIW architecture, program control unit. Here program can be input and it pass the program to the multi-ported register file. Multi-ported register file means there can be multi-ported register file as we have seen in the superscalar execution. हे बघा, इथे आपण बघितलं एक सुपरस्केलर एक्झिक्युशन हा दिसतोय. याच्यामध्ये बघा इंटिजर रजिस्टर फाईल आणि फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट रजिस्टर फाईल अशा दोन फाईल आहे ना. हा काय झाला, दिस इज वन प्रोसेसर. आणि बघा हे काय फंक्शनल युनिट इथे लिहिलंय बघा, फंक्शनल युनिट इंटिजर रजिस्टर फाईल, दिस इज सुपरस्केलर एक्झिक्युशन. पण हा किती, हा पूर्ण काय झाला, हा एक तिथं वन प्रोसेसर. असे VLIW मध्ये असे मल्टिपल, there can be multiple processors in VLIW as a superscalar execution, and that multi-port register file is able to store the particular instruction in the register file. Now here you can see that file are giving to the read write crossbar. आता मी तुम्हाला नंतर सांगेन read write crossbar, that is the interconnection network. To read the memory we use different communication model. In that crossbar means any memory can be read. We have seen the communication model. In that, if suppose there is a shared memory, then multiple port can share the memory by using the crossbar. Crossbar means there are different topology or different interconnection networks are available, means as per the scheduling, as per the instruction scheduling or preference, any particular instruction can read the memory by using the read write crossbar. After reading the memory, it passes the actual data to the functional unit. Now you can say dotted line means there can be multiple functional units. So multiple tasks can be executed by the multiple functional unit. Instruction cache. As I told you, if once you open the application, automatically when you first time open the application, it is cache in the cache memory. जेव्हा तुम्ही इथे एखादा स्टोर करतात ऍप्लिकेशन, तो ऑलरेडी तुम्ही कधी ओपन केलेला असेल तर तो डायरेक्टली काय करतो, इथून when it open the application, it automatically store the data in the instruction cache. It store the data in the instruction cache and it fetch the actual data from the instruction cache and it perform the functional unit. Functional unit म्हणजे काय असेल, ALU arithmetic logic unit, decoder, encoder, जे आपण प्रोसेसर मध्ये बघितलं ना, मायक्रो प्रोसेसर मध्ये, डेल मध्ये, तो जो इंटरनल पार्ट असतो ना, जो हार्डवेअर पार्ट, तो कुठे सगळा फंक्शनल युनिट मध्ये. सो दिस इज अ सिंपल VLIW architecture. In that program control unit split the data by using the compiler, pass the data to the multi-port register file. In the register file, it store the multiple tasks, and the multiple tasks access the memory by using the crossbar. And then after reading or writing the memory, it pass to the functional unit. Functional unit actually execute the particular operation with the help of instruction cache. Okay, last slide for today's session. Now it's 2 p.m. Advantages of VLIW. It increase the performance. मी सांगितलं तुम्हाला परफॉर्मन्स इन्क्रीज होतो का, कारण की याच्यामध्ये हार्डवेअर सॉफ्टवेअर पार्ट यूज केला आहे. सॉफ्टवेअर कोणता आहे, कंपायलर अँड इंटरप्रेटर. पोटेन्शियली स्केलेबल, मोर एक्झिक्युशन युनिट कॅन बी ॲडेड, so more instruction can be packed into the VLIW. Here you can see we can add the multi-ported register file. Here we can add the multiple functional unit. Means in VLIW you can add the number of parallel computers. So that's why it is a scalable. Okay, what are the disadvantages of VLIW? New programmers are needed. हा मी काय सांगितलं की याच्यामध्ये आपण काय वापरतो प्रोसेसर मध्ये, सॉफ्टवेअर पार्ट आला. याचा अर्थ ऍज पर द चेंज ऑफ हार्डवेअर यू हॅव टू प्रोग्राम युअर कंपायलर. VLIW चं एक लिमिटेशन काय आहे, डिसएडव्हान्टेज, की आपण इथे सॉफ्टवेअर पार्ट वापरतो ना, तो अकॉर्डिंग टू सॉफ्टवेअर यू हॅव टू चेंज, according to hardware you have to change your software. If suppose you are using 32-bit processor, then you have to write code for 32-bit processor. If you are using 64-bit processor, you have to write coding for 64-bit processor. जसं की तुम्ही एम ऑडिबल आवाज येतोय, माझा आवाज येतोय?
Yes, sir.
ओके. हा, जसं की बघा आपण काही सॉफ्टवेअर डाउनलोड करतो जावासाठी नेटवरून, तर दोन टाईपमध्ये सॉफ्टवेअर अवेलेबल असतात, 32-बीट 64-बीट. केलं असेल तुम्ही असं. हे का दिलेलं असतात? बिकॉज अकॉर्डिंग टू हार्डवेअर सॉफ्टवेअर इज डिझाईन. तुमचं 32-बीटचा प्रोसेसर असेल तर ते 32-बीट OS डाउनलोड केली पाहिजे, इन्स्टॉल केली पाहिजे. 64-बीट असेल तर त्याच्यासाठी 64-बीट सॉफ्टवेअर इन्स्टॉल केलं पाहिजे. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रोसेसर सॉफ्टवेअर इज टू बी चेंज. सो दॅट्स वाय न्यू प्रोग्रामर नीडेड. प्रोग्राम मस्ट कीप ट्रॅक ऑफ इन्स्ट्रक्शन शेड्यूलिंग. हां, याच्यात काय मल्टिपल इन्स्ट्रक्शन एक्झिक्यूट होतात, ते कोणाकडून? कंपायलर कडून. त्याच्यामुळे OSचं सगळ्यात इम्पॉर्टंट टास्क काय? इन्स्ट्रक्शन शेड्यूलिंग. कोणती इन्स्ट्रक्शन एक्झिक्यूट झाली पाहिजे, कोणती इन्स्ट्रक्शन सस्पेंड केली पाहिजे, कोणती इन्स्ट्रक्शन रिझ्यूम केली पाहिजे, कोणता टास्क पूर्ण झाल्यावर डिलीट केला पाहिजे, त्याच्यानंतर कोणत्या प्रोसेसरला इन्स्ट्रक्शन पास केली पाहिजे. ऑल द शेड्यूलिंग मस्ट बी ट्रॅक बाय द कंपायलर ऑर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम. इन्क्रीज द मेमरी साईज. अजून एक याचं डिसएडव्हान्टेज काय आहे, कधी प्रोसेसरची साईज वाढली तर ऑटोमॅटिकली इन्स्ट्रक्शनची वर्ड साईज काय होणार आहे? वाढणार आहे. जशी इन्स्ट्रक्शनची वर्ड साईज वाढली, इथे जसं आपण इथून पास करताना इन्स्ट्रक्शनची वर्ड साईज वाढवली, ऑटोमॅटिकली यू हॅव टू इन्क्रीज द मल्टिपल पोर्ट रजिस्टर फाईल, हे वाढवून घ्यावे लागते. त्याच्याचप्रमाणे मेमरी पण वाढवावी लागेल. त्याच्याचप्रमाणे फंक्शनल युनिट पण जास्त, वी हॅव टू इन्क्रीज द नंबर ऑफ memory, number of functional unit, multi-port register file. So this is the disadvantage of VLIW. Increase the memory use. High power consumption. Okay. If you are using software, if you are using superscalar processor, and you are using multiple superscalar processor in single VLIW processor, if you are increasing the memory size, so definitely it might take a more power. है ना, त्याच्यामुळे तो जास्त पॉवर घेईल. त्याच्यामुळे काय आहे, पॉवर कंजम्पशन जास्त लागतं याला. ओके. सो इन टुडे सेशन वी हॅव कम्प्लिटेड 2 पार्ट. फर्स्ट वन इज द टाइप्स ऑफ पैरेललिज्म, सेकंड वन इज द VLIW processor. So that is enough for today's session. In the next